We recently made these amazing seed beds for our grow tunnel. I'm going to show you how to do it today. It has been such a lifesaver for us, somewhere to put all of our seeds. It saves our back from having to bend over. It's just such a nice space. And the bonus is we did it so cheap with old pallets and a couple of new materials. Firstly, you're going to need to cut everything to size, so that will depend on the length that you want each bed as well as the width. So you'll need to figure that out to suit your own growing space. All the pieces are cut for 3 tables. So for the long one, the 3 meter long, we've got 9 pieces at 50 centimeters to go in the middle. We've got 2 tables here at 2.5 meters long, and each of those have 7 center pieces. So all we have left is to cut some legs out of some other material, but we'll put the tops together first. To get the tops done, first I marked out every 50 centimeters where those cross pieces are going to go. It's just a lot easier to do it at this stage rather than once you've got everything laid out. And then the next step is to lay your pieces out so you have an idea of how things are going to look. And I'm lining them up with those marks that I made along the top. Next one is you want to screw all of those pieces in. I'm using decking screws, so I didn't need to drill pilot holes, but it can crack the timber. You might need to do some pilot holes depending on the screws that you're using, but just go around the entire piece, screwing everything together, trying to line it up as best you can. If you're using free pallets like I have, you'll find that things are a little bit bowed up, and it can take a bit of force to just sort of line things up again. I discovered putting it on its side is much easier to screw into using a bit of downward force, and it's easier on your back. Now to pop the legs in, we used a lot heavier material for the legs because they've got to hold the weight of everything. And I just put 2 screws straight into the sides, straight through the legs. And then I've put this piece on the legs at each side just to kind of keep them stable. And I just propped it up with those pieces of scrap material. And then I put 2 more screws on each side on each end just to make it really stable, which it was. And now we're ready to add our wire mesh. We paid about $70 for each roll, which did 3 beds. You secure each end in and then roll your roll down and then secure each end again. We used some U-shaped nails for this. Then trim off your roll because it's going to be really hard to do this with it there. This is a bit time consuming, but you want to try and get it as close to that long section of wire as you can so there's less spiky bits to snag on things. Trim up any edges so that you don't get snagged, and then you want to push down each edge, wrap it around the sides, and then start nailing the whole thing down. You want to do it at pretty even intervals all around the top of the bed and then go along the sides. I haven't done it very perfect here as you can see, but you just want to get it all secured down and as flat as possible to reduce the risk of it snagging or catching on things. I ended up realizing again it's much easier to lay it on its side, so please go ahead and do that too. And there we have it. That is all it took. We spent around $70 for each roll of mesh, so we did 6 beds and that took 2 rolls of mesh, so $140 for that. It was around $20 worth of those U-shaped nails, and we had boxes of screws, so we didn't really have to pay for that, so you'll have to work out how much that's going to cost as well. And as long as you've got your own tools, this is such a cheap project, and it's feels like an amazing luxury to have these beds, and they do the job perfectly for us. We're so happy with them. We hope you'll give it a go. We hope this helps you in your gardening.